What's up everybody, Sam here, and nobody else is home, so I get this wonderful living room all to myself. And today is the second momentous occasion we've had this week. Just a couple days ago we hit 10,000 subscribers, and now we're on the 50th episode of Life in Germany. If you had told me that this series would come this far when I first started making these videos a year and a half ago, I would have laughed at you. Because the only reason I was really making them was just to show Germany to my friends and family, you know, show them what we were up to. It's actually kind of funny, because I was only catering to those close friends and family, I didn't care much about privacy. So if you'll notice, if you watch through the playlist recently at all, I think there are 2 videos that are private there, because people were contacting me, telling me that they could just find my address watching these videos, which wasn't cool. I mean, I trust you guys. Most of you. But my address isn't something I want out there on the internet. So those couple videos, I believe episode 7 and episode 14, are going to remain private until me and my family are out of this house. Because you could clearly see street signs there, and it was way too easy to figure out exactly where we live. So that was kind of creepy. I mean, I get a message, you know, with there was nothing in the message except a set of GPS coordinates. So I go over to Google Earth and I punch them in and it takes me right to our house. Yeah. So yeah, episode 50. I never would have thought this series would come so far, but I am extremely glad it did. And at this point, at this rate, it looks like we're gonna be able to reach well over 100 episodes before I leave Germany. I know I mentioned a while back that I wanted to be in Berlin for episode 50. That didn't work out. It's okay though, because I had a better idea. I'm gonna take this episode and kind of recap all that I've been doing as far as life in Germany goes for the past year and a half. And I'm gonna reveal to you my top 5 favorite episodes, but more specifically, my top 5 favorite moments from the entire series. And I forgot my notes, which means I have to walk upstairs. And I don't want to walk upstairs because it's dark up there. Alright, got my notes. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I think I'm gonna do my favorite episodes first, and then I'll move on to my favorite moments. Now within the top 5, I haven't put them in any particular order, you know, like first to 5th place. Just keep that in mind. Oh, and when I'm done here, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Which episodes and which moments have you liked the best so far? Because you guys are the reason I do this, you know? And I appreciate your feedback. Give me some feedback or you die. Actually, these are in order from oldest to most recent. So my oldest favorite episode is episode 13 when I went to the Black Forest, which really doesn't feel like it was that long ago. But it was a great experience. It was a nice kind of touristy place. Obviously the Black Forest is always cool. I liked going in all the shops and seeing all those expensive clocks that I was afraid to even touch. It was just a really beautiful place. Oh, and then that Alpen coaster, the mountain coaster thing that I did at the end. We actually kind of happened upon that place. We didn't intentionally go there. We were kind of lost and then we just found it. So we rode the thing a couple times and it was tons of fun. And after all the awesomeness we had already had on that trip, it was really just icing on the cake. The Black Forest cake. See what I did there? And aside from all that, I think episode 13 was one of the first episodes I was really happy with. Even though I was still shooting with a little point and shoot. That was the progression of my cameras. First I had the little point and shoot that I used through episode 18, 17, I'm not sure. And then I got a camcorder for my birthday and used that from episode 19-ish through, I think, 42 maybe? Through 43, I just remembered that. 44, I think, was the first one that I had shot with my new camera, the Canon 70D, which has been performing outstandingly. Next up on the list is episode 17, in which I went to Garmisch. And I think that trip was amazing for a number of reasons. Number one, I had never been a place that epic in my life. I mean, we're down there in a hotel, surrounded by Alps, and it's just fantastic. In fact, I'd have to say that place probably went unbeaten as the most beautiful place I've ever been until about a month ago when I went to Switzerland, which was a little bit more awesome. Plus we went to the Zugspitze, the highest point in Germany, which was, you just have to go there. It was, see, I can't formulate sentences anymore. That's how awesome it was. Like I said, that place is beautiful through and through, and I can't get enough of it. Next up, we jump from episode 17 to episode 32, which was the 10 things, I believe it was 10 things that throw me off about Germany. I think I chose this one as one of my favorites just because I had a lot of fun making that episode. And I was joking about some things, but I was serious about others. And it was pretty funny because some people took me seriously about the things I was joking about. Like I mentioned not being able to handle the doorknobs because, you know, you rotate them sideways to open the door, and then you rotate them up to tilt the door inwards. And I talked about how there's no way I could ever learn how to do that fluently. And people believed me, it was ridiculous. They were like, "We don't need scum like you here, you little dirt." Yeah, I was honestly astounded by the stupidity of some people and their lack of understanding sarcasmus. Alright, 2 more episodes to go for my favorite episodes. The first one actually kind of cheated. All 3 of the cooking videos. I'm not gonna lie, they were a pain to make, but I had a good time. If you haven't seen them, the first one I tried to make Kartoffelsalat, and I semi-succeeded, I did alright. But I felt I needed to redeem myself, so I went and tried to make Spätzle from scratch. It did not work. I was an idiot. The greatest thing about that episode, though, is after I failed making the Spätzle, and I failed bad, I failed miserably. I called Mom on the phone to tell her, and I had this pretty long conversation with her, and she had no idea I was still recording. So it allowed for some genuinely funny unscripted moments. So needless to say, I needed to redeem myself again. So for the last cooking video, I made Black Forest cake, and it turned out well. I did a darn fine job, until somebody pointed out that that's actually baking. Don't tell anybody. I still need to make another cooking video eventually. But yeah, those were episodes 37, 39, and 40. And I think those are some of my favorites overall. And the last episode I have on the list is episode 45, with the Bremen Town Musicians. I read it in German. Once again, this was just an episode I had a lot of fun with. It did take me a long time to record though. I think I spent an hour or more recording it, and it's like a 10-page book with big letters, and they're only like down here. It was bad, but I wanted to get the pronunciation right, you know? And then of course I had fun with the subtitles, as anyone who's seen that video knows. But one thing that most people might not know is I actually composed the music for the entire video on that video, and it took like 30 hours, but it was worth it. I made it so that it flowed with the story, so that was fun and definitely worth the effort. And that's just an example of one of the few videos that I'm extremely happy with. Alright, time to look at some favorite moments. Once again, these are in chronological order. In episode 15, we as a family went to a Renaissance fair, which was a pretty cool experience. I seriously enjoyed it and would definitely go back given the opportunity. And at one point during this fair, they had a parade that went through the entire fairgrounds. And there was this one random dude with like 100 geese, and it was hilarious. And he had a little goose call in his mouth, and he could tell them to stop, he could tell them to go, and he had a little sheepdog, you know, running around and herding the geese. It just cracked me up. I thought it was so funny, and she's got a bunch of geese. Next up on the list, I have episode 25, when we went and got our Christmas tree. You might remember that. It wasn't too far from our house, and we just walked there, picked out our tree, and carried it back home. We did it as a family, and it was great fun. We made some awesome memories. Also, I believe that was the first episode where I used the word derp heavily. I would like to go back and find out which episode I first said the word derp in. Next, I have episode 28, which was... Episode 28 was New Year's this year, which means I've made just about as many videos this year already as I did all of last year. I hadn't actually thought of that. Anyway, episode 28, that was the video I made on New Year's this year. And watching Germany celebrate New Year's was out of this world. It's fairly common to refer to the giant valley that the actual city of Stuttgart sits in as the Bowl. From what I hear, it used to be a huge lake. But we got a nice position on the rim of said bowl, and we're able to just look out over this ocean of fireworks. Literally an ocean. Okay, not literally, fine, sorry. But it looked like an ocean. They just covered the landscape. It was incredible. And I'll be here to see at least one, maybe two more of those. So needless to say, I'm very excited to see that again. Next up, we have a moment I've actually already mentioned in episode 39 when I was trying to make Spätzle and I failed and I called Mom. And like I said, it had some hilarious unscripted humor in it, which makes it one of my top favorite moments in life in Germany of all time. And it'll probably stay that way. And last but not least, most recently, I got to witness Germans reacting to winning the Brazil game and then the World Cup. And it was... I'm running out of adjectives. It was amazing, it was awesome, it was thick. I don't know, what can I say? Like a lot of other things on these lists, it was something I had never seen before. Just such huge groups of people going nuts on that level. I don't like soccer at all, pretty much, but those people will seriously get you in the mood. It's one of those things that I am going to remember forever because it was awesome. And there are my 5 favorite moments and my 5 favorite episodes of Life in Germany thus far. But don't let me ever forget that none of this would be possible without you guys. And I'd love to hear what your favorite episodes and moments are so far as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's a Friday night. I think I'm gonna kill some zombies. Thank you for watching. Please continue to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Sam out. Sam out.